Gloomhaven, the digital adaptation of the most highly rated physical board game of all time by Flaming Fowl Studios, is not your typical tactical RPG. In Gloomhaven, you lead a party of fearless mercenaries, guiding them through dark and dangerous dungeons in search of untold riches. Put your strategy to the test in unforgiving, turn-based combat. Victory belongs only to the most daring players with the sharpest minds. At the start of Early Access, 4 out of the full roster of 17 mercenaries will be available to build your party. The Cragheart is an expelled member of the proud Savas race, now deprived of their rank, though he still displays terrifying physical strength and can unleash devastating rock attacks. The Brute is the fearless frontliner from the Inox tribes. He never hesitates either to use his raw strength or to demand payment for it. The Scoundrel is a swift, self-serving assassin, fresh from the city streets. The dungeon's darker corners hide her perfectly until it's time to strike. The Spellweaver is one of the very few chosen Orchid Sages. She left her meditation to bring order to the land with powerful, magical and elemental attacks. Each mercenary has dozens of unique abilities paired to form ability cards. Prepare your deck of cards and equip your heroes carefully before entering a dungeon. You'll need to combine these abilities with clever tactical choices to survive the challenges within, especially the more difficult ones. Inside the halls of the dungeon, every choice you make has life or death consequences. A turn begins with the selection of 2 ability cards for each character. Each card carries its own initiative score, determining the order of play for the upcoming turn. The choice of your ability cards is therefore of the utmost importance. It will affect your tactical options, the turn order, and your overall strategy. The enemies you face also pack their own set of deadly abilities, drawing their own initiative for the turn. Their abilities vary wildly, ranging from simple melee attacks to powerful spells. For each turn, a character uses one top half and one bottom half from their 2 selected cards before both cards are discarded. Be careful, as some of the most powerful abilities will be burned instead. They can only be used once per dungeon. Gloomhaven will test both your tactical planning and your control of resources. Remember the golden rule: never run out of cards. Resting will allow you to recover your discarded cards at the cost of burning some precious ones you already have. In Gloomhaven, you fail when all your characters are out of health points or cards left to play. Be prepared to challenge yourself, as the game will show you no mercy, and the only answer to an untimely death is to come back stronger. In the roguelike mode, you travel from town to town in search of fame and fortune, choosing your own path and stumbling upon the occasional encounter along the way. The tougher the adventure, the greater the reward. As you triumph in these adventures, your mercenaries will find and purchase rare equipment, gain levels, upgrade abilities, and complete objectives, unlocking new parties of mercenaries in the process. And if you dare, you can even try your luck against bosses hidden in the depths of the most dangerous dungeons. Early access starts on July the 17th, but be prepared for an ever-evolving challenge with loads of new content regularly coming your way. From gloom, only greed and death emerge.
Welcome to Necromunda, an impossibly massive hive city of winding corridors, lawless humanity, and gang warfare. In savage third-person tactical battles, claim dominance and glory for your house, defeat your enemies, and triumph. Underhive Wars is a tactical RPG where you control a gang of custom-made fighters from one of three great houses as they vie for control and resources. The three houses, with their gangs, are Orlok, Goliath, and Escher. The Orloks are industrious gunfighting range specialists. The Escher are all women and deadly agile melee fighters. And the Goliaths are humongous, gene-forged monsters of men. There are dozens and dozens of ways to customize every ganger with weapons, skills, armors, stat priorities, rank, class, and house-specific perks and upgrades, and much more. Choose how your fighters play, from silent snipers popping heads and severing limbs at long range, to brutal melee warriors hacking at their enemies in close combat. Cosmetic customization goes just as far, with infinite variations for each and every gang and fighter. Shoulder pads, knee guards, chest plates, boots, piercings, hair, along with color scheme variations, can all be customized on a gang or individual level. Your gang will never look the same as another. In combat, Underhive Wars is a game of freedom and verticality. Each class has its own series of choices to make. Should a saboteur stay back and find edge angles to apply their skills? Or go in guns blazing to secure the best spot and scupper enemy plans? Will your leader use their superior skills to take out enemies? Or buff their allies with rousing speeches or threats? The options are endless. Medicae stations, bridges and lifts, abandoned cargo containers, zip lines, gas traps, hazardous materials, cogitator terminals. The Underhive is full of decisions to make to outsmart opponents. If all else fails, you can outgun them with deadly weapons, grenades, flamethrowers, rivet cannons, sawblade guns, and outposition them from higher ground with tactical advantages. Don't forget to analyze the weaknesses in your opponent's gear to cause greater damage. With permanent injuries for your gang if you take too many hits, these decisions truly matter. Between battles, your gangers gain experience to spend on stats, skills, perks, and more, while the riches of your gang as a whole let you purchase weapons, armor, and war gear to equip them. As you grow in infamy and riches, new options for training facilities and special missions will become available to you. All this thrilling action is shared across three main game modes. The story-based campaign mode provides an exciting story of allegiances, betrayal, and violent gang warfare, plus teaches you everything there is to know about Necromunda Underhive Wars. Penned by Necromunda Universe veteran Andy Chambers, it's a wild ride. Operations mode is where you take your own gang to war with permanent rewards and endless evolution. Win glory for your house and take down enemies across the entire Underhive in procedurally generated missions. Finally, there's Breakneck Multiplayer, where you fight players around the world for dominance, glory, and wealth, using your homemade gangs in brutal up to 4-way engagements, competing for the same objective. Build your own gang and fight for wealth and glory when Necromunda Underhive Wars launches on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, September 8th.
As a child, I dreamed of becoming a hunter. But when my croppings came, that stupid witch turned me into a rat out of spite. Filled with rage and driven by revenge, I foolishly lashed out at anyone and anything I could find. If it wasn't for my friends, I would be long dead for sure. My life wasn't always like this. I was a child found in cabbage, a sure sign of good fortune. I followed our Lord Horse dutifully. We must trust in the path of the gods, but I still remember the fear and disappointment when I was turned into vermin. Of course, Thea does not care for my feelings. That first winter, it was so hard. Together with Nyevko and Radochna, we left our village with barely enough food and firewood to keep us alive. Equipped in whatever little our people could spare, we ventured forth in search for more. We looked for answers amongst demons and wise men, but none knew of a way to return my human form. So we train, we gather, and we craft. At the end, I learned of another way to change my fate. But I lost my friends. I am a rat no more, but a creature of the night, hungry for blood, and so blood I seek. I attack from the shadows. I pity any witch foolish enough not to run. My tale is but one of many. What will yours be?
Master the brand new skill trees, warfare and athletics. Explore the new dungeon type, the catacombs, inhabited by proselyte cultists. Discover the new locations containing valuable loot and insights into the kingdom's past. 30 new types of weapons, equipment and valuables to find, new animals to hunt, and new herbs and mushrooms to gather. Take upon a challenge to slay the beast never seen before in the kingdom. Meet the Troll Slayer update. Available now on Steam.
A challenging turn-based RPG with complete freedom of character development and complex injury treatment system. Welcome to Stone Shard. In Stone Shard, you will travel through ruined villages, old forests, and crypts swarming with monsters, all procedurally generated with each new run. Become a true mercenary and use every opportunity to earn coin, to buy better gear, and challenge ever greater dangers. Combine over 100 skills with over 200 pieces of equipment and find unique playstyles by experimenting with builds without class restrictions or level prerequisites. In Stone Shard, each battle will test your skills. Plan out your build and strategy to achieve victory no matter the odds. To survive in the merciless world of Aldor, take care of your health, both physical and mental, by fighting pain with alcohol and taking all kinds of substances. You can make the stakes even higher by choosing the Iron Man mode, where character death becomes permanent. Stone Shard is coming to Steam on February 6th, 2020.
To those called gamers, who and what I am is not important. What I do is important. Mankind is an ungraded test, and I'm holding the red pen, and I will grade you on your greatest strengths, creativity, and determination.
I ain't got time to bleed.
So bring your mightiest heroes,
Master of strategy.
most powerful legends, saltiest streamers, and dankest memes. I await you atop my tower. You may lose as often as you'll tolerate. You will learn that the difference between fact and fiction is the power to decide which is which. However, when I win, and I will win, your creativity shall be my trophy.
Feel the light course through your mortal veins.
Without it, humanity is surely doomed to a dim end. But no pressure, after all. It's just a game. Pop-up dungeon. Your adventures begin now.
Bye.